Thank you very much for downloading the podcast of the RockFM Breakfast Show. Cito steps into studio to talk to us a little bit about Wonderboom, Cantante, Absinthe, and his new Christmas show coming up. Here we go, Cito. I'd like to welcome into the studio Cito.
Hello.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
We were just saying there's a little bit of a history here because the first song I ever played on radio was Charlie from Wonderboom. And the first link that I ever did was talking about 8-Leg Groove Machine opening up for Simple Minds. And how weird is it that Simple Minds has just been here?
I know, it's amazing, and I missed that show, and apparently this time around they really kicked ass.
I heard. I've read a review, and I'm sick about it because I always look at things at Carnival and I'm like, am I going to go all the way out there?
We're the west side, you know, they must bring stuff this side.
Exactly.
I suppose they do.
Don't stop. Rock FM.
It's like my life. I'm addicted.
Rock alternative music.
I listen to it.
91.9 Rock FM.
We're getting better and better, I feel, as time goes on.
Like I said, I just needed a bit of time to let my brain switch on. I've got an old hard drive as a brain, 500 megs.
Solid state, baby.
And it's been contaminated by viruses and all that. So it takes a while to start up, you know?
But when it does start up,
then it works. Then you shouldn't switch it
I
off.
want to get into that hard drive a little bit. I want to find out just a little bit about you. In terms of your name, I have never met another Cito. Where does that come from?
Well, I think if you're in South America or the States, for that matter, you would probably bump into a couple of more Citos.
Okay.
But basically, my mother's Puerto Rican, and you know we spoke Spanish at home. And my father's name is also Martin, so I was Martincito. And then as nicknames go, and in fact all of my siblings, we don't really use our real names. My sister's real name is Obdulia, and we call her Ruby. My mother's name is Obdulia, and we just they call her Julie. My brother's name...
Are you picking names out of magazines for your family members?
And they all start from somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
But Cito is basically Junior,
Oh, okay.
and it was just a nickname that my family would call me. And then eventually my friends caught on, and then it eventually became my sort of stage name,
So
or my brand.
how is your Spanish?
It's okay. It's rusty because I don't speak it as much to people because there aren't many Spanish-speaking people here.
You must speak it to them when you get upset with them, though. I mean, it must be
I
wonderful
swear
to
in
have
Spanish a lot. I really do that. It's like a natural response.
I don't do that. Fantastic.
And then when I speak to my mom, when we speak, on the phone, she's in the States, so I catch up with her. Okay. But I've also got this great project called El Cantante, where I got to.
Yes. Tell me about that. I've seen it once. It's absolutely amazing.
Cool, thanks. Basically, something I've been wanting to do for a while. There's a few Spanish numbers that my mother, she also sings and plays guitar beautifully, and there's a couple of numbers like traditional Puerto Rican folk numbers that she would play that I just gave it a bash, tried out, and I thought, you know what, this is actually something I could do. I could definitely speak it, and it seems to, all the music that we've chosen for the repertoire of El Cantante, and it's from old to new. Some of it's translated into Spanish from English, so the well-known English numbers that are, like ABBA's Winner Takes It All, I Will Survive.
Do it in Spanish?
But you do it in Spanish, yeah.
That's amazing. I think that's fantastic.
So it's quite across the board, and the format is very simple. It's acoustic. Martin from Wonderboom plays lead guitar.
Yeah, Martin Rocker.
Yeah, and then I play second guitar, and it just seems to sit in my voice. Like I've figured out why my Afrikaans is terrible. It's because I sing from the wrong place.
Oh, okay.
And every sort of culture
Not from
of
the
singing,
Free State.
yeah. The Afrikaans is more guttural, more sort of from the chest.
Yeah.
And the Spanish is more sort of from the sinus area. Like I've been learning a lot about singing and where the placings are, and everybody has different sort of placings. So
that's amazing.
It's very interesting,
And speaking of Martin Rocker, when did you guys meet? I mean, it must have been years.
Yeah, so we've been jamming together for about 20 years.
Unbelievable. And the first band you guys were in?
8-Legged Groove Machine.
Yeah, baby. I still remember the days of 8-Legged Groove Machine.
Yeah.
And then that moved on to Wonderboom.
Well, yeah, what happened was 8-Legged Groove, I mean, you said that we opened for Simple Minds, but that was slightly incorrect. We were called the Electric Pedal Groove Machine.
That was it.
Because we joined up with Danny and Gus from the Electric Pedals. They actually got the gig to open for Simple Minds. They asked us to join forces to make this super group and kick Simple Minds' ass when they came out here.
There's a plan.
I think we ended up kicking our own asses, but we did. We formed this. It was quite mad the way we did. It was like very devious. We met at one of these the Red Room at the Hotel Devonshire, and we said, okay, let's do it, and we joined our band. We made this band called the Electric Pedal Groove Machine, and then a few months later, I think it was about 6 months later, we renamed it Wonderboom.
Wow.
And then it was just a 4-piece. Then it was just Danny from Electric Pedals, and then Wade, Martin, and myself from Eight-Legged Groove Machine.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And apart from rocking it on a stage in a band format, you've also done a lot of theatre stuff.
Yeah, I've been delving into a bit of that. I started in 2006. I was Jesus and Jesus Christ Superstar.
Well, where are you going to go from there?
Well, that's the thing, where do you go from there?
Until they bring out the musical of Superman, you're a bit stuck as to where you're going to go.
Yeah.
Is it a completely different thing? Do you prefer being on a stage in a band setup? Do you prefer being in that sort of acting role? What are they? Do they gas you in different ways?
Well, that's it. They are. Look, in essence, they're both the same. You're basically performing in front of a crowd, and you get the same nerves before you go on, and you have these moments of like, oh my God, I better not forget my lyrics kind of thing. And it's very dynamic, and it's very dependent on the crowd and how they respond. And the cool thing about musical theatre is that, you're not doing everything. You're just doing the role that you need to do. You don't have to worry about marketing or,
True. You've got a machine behind
the crew.
you now.
You've got this full-on machine. And then the ensemble that also supports you. And then you really feel when somebody's down, you actually feel that dynamic, and it's quite amazing how the perception of musical theatre from a crowd's perspective is that it's this flawless, simple, like a machine thing that's going down. But there's so many variables and so many things that go into it.
But that's it. If you're doing it right, then that's what the crowd feels. That
Exactly,
it's just this effortless thing that's just been happening.
So I definitely get off on that. I like the fact that I could just go up there and do the one role that I have to do. I don't have to worry about anything else, and that you feel like a team player. It's
You're locked in to the hottest station on the planet. 91.9. This is Rock FM.
I'm saying it's really early to start asking the difficult questions. It's not 8 o'clock yet. And I'm going to be honest, all I've provided you with is water.
Well, that's all I need right now. I've had my coffee. I haven't had breakfast, but I'm up early every morning anyway, so it's cool. I'm just not completely functioning till about 9 o'clock.
As a musician, do you feel that that's right, that you should be up early in the morning, or do you feel that you should rather be sort of 2 in the afternoon, sort of surfacing, that kind of thing?
In my younger years, I would have done that, but I've got just too much stuff to do, and if I waste my day, and I also have a whole family going down, and my zoo that wake me up, like my dogs. There's a saying out there that dogs know instinctively to the second what time their owner has to wake up, and then they wake you up 10 minutes before that.
Oh wow!
So
no, I'm with you. I'm completely with you. I thought my dog was just stupid.
No, all dogs do this. They're like, they know that you got to wake up at 6, and then they'll like wake up at 10 to 6.
Yes, and I've got one of those boxes that just stands next to the bed and goes.
I've got Great Danes.
Wow. Fantastic. So I'm glad that you've woken up early.
Yeah.
I'm glad I haven't taken you out of your...
Don't feel guilty. No.
I'm really worried I've taken you out of your routine.
No, it's cool. Yeah, it's
cool.
one of those things.
So
that
me and the Great Danes have woken Cito up early. And we're going to be playing a game called True or False. Now, how it goes is there are 3 questions that have been put together by the producer. Now, the producer, listeners to the show will know, he's a bit of a weird guy. He comes up with some sort of weird ideas. So we're going to work out this morning, can we clever or have we got the dumb? It is time for the ridiculous True or False. Here comes our first question.
True or false, Santa Claus has a real postal zip code. It goes H0H0H0.
So, would Santa have his own postcode?
Look, that postcode is ridiculous, all right? It should be numbers or something.
Yeah.
But all those letters have got to go somewhere.
Because this is what I'm thinking.
Somebody, like, even just for admin, even if there is no North Pole or whatever.
I love it.
Somebody at the post office has got to do something with them,
It's not the poor children and all their wishes. It's the admin, man. Where are we going to put these things? And I think I've just worked out 8080H0 ho ho ho.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so I think
it's clever.
I would do that. I would set one up if I was in charge.
Actually, you know what? I believe in Santa Claus, so it has to be. It has to be true.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm going to go with you. Both of us going true?
That is really true.
Yay. There we go. We didn't do badly.
Cool. So who is that just said that was really true?
That is a boy called James, who's part of the other reason that I'm up very early in the morning. Let's see. Question number 2, please.
True or false? Santa Claus's look was created by a soft drink company.
Now, I've heard about this before. One of the biggest soft drink companies in the world, the one that has the red and the white can.
I wonder what that could be, yeah.
And they apparently, so the story goes, was that they sorted out around, I think it was around World War, one of the World Wars, where they made a jolly man with a red suit and a white belt that looked like the can.
Oh no, that's very disappointing.
You see, would this be true, or would this be one of those horrible things that the internet makes us believe?
Very possible. St. Nicholas goes way back, but I suppose I've never seen photos of him. So
Yes. Yeah.
it could be true. I mean, it sounds like it could be.
It's one of those things that is very disappointing if it is.
I refuse to believe it.
You're going to go with false.
I'm going to go with false.
I'm a pessimist. I'm going to go with true.
That is false.
Hey,
Hey,
it's just one of those horrible rumors. My faith in humanity is reset again. I'm so happy. Okay, let's have our last question, please.
True or false? If aliens landed in South Africa, they would be property of the state.
If aliens were to land in South Africa, they would be property of the state, which I suppose goes to a weird law that we would have.
Yeah.
Some sort of possession law.
Well, I know that the states would like to think that it still belongs to them, or China for that matter.
Yes.
Which it could be actually, but I saw District 9 and I reckon it's true.
Yeah, but
If you think about any aliens that arrive in South Africa, like myself, I now belong to South Africa.
yes, I was about to say you are. If this is true, you are property of the state,
I am.
and that's going to be troubling. Because would an alien land in South Africa? Would a dinkum three-eyed alien?
Well, this is my biggest frustration with like these movies. They always land in Middle America or New York or something. It's like why? Why would they choose America?
What's wrong with Brakpan? This is what we're saying.
Yeah, exactly. I would pick like a nice desolate area like Siberia or or South Africa.
Anywhere in Australia.
Anywhere in Australia. The Free State is probably the best place.
Exactly, yeah. Land right next to the dam. No one would see you. For the next, you could set up a house. No, and if they did see you, they'd probably just go, hey.
It probably has happened though, Mike.
It probably has. So, is that true or is that false? That if an alien, a dinkum, three-eyed, five-legged alien, were to
I would
land,
say it's true.
you would say it's true. I'm going to go true as well, actually.
That is really true.
Okay.
So, if any aliens are planning on landing, just make sure that you're happy with the country you're landing, because apparently you end up sort of working for them and being part of them.
91.9 Rock FM.
So, tell me, gigs coming up. What have you got? What have you got in the pipeline?
Well, I've got a great charity performance tonight in Ilovo at
cool.
La Vie en Rose with El Cantante. If you guys want to check it out, it's a big fundraiser for Race Against Extinction, which is a great cause. It's like a whole set menu thing, beautiful French food. It's a really lovely restaurant, and I just love doing these restaurant gigs with El Cantante because it's conducive. It's very intimate. it's really cool, you know.
And in terms of tickets, people buy tickets there. Can they
Yeah, you could check it out on Facebook, Race Against Extinction, or check it out on my Facebook or on the Collab Network.
Cool. We'll link that up to our Facebook as well. So
Just have a look there. And then, but the big one that we're really looking forward to is Swingin' Christmas, which is happening on the 30th of November. I launched an entertainment business with my business partner, Colette Dawson, in Feb.
Yeah.
And
Hi, Colette.
Hi, Colette. And you know, part of our mission is to produce shows, big quality shows. And this is going to be our first big sort of production that we're putting on.
Who's all involved in this one?
Okay, well, it's the Johannesburg Big Band. They're a 17-piece brass orchestra. Really beautiful, beautiful, authentic, top players. The best in the country, basically. Doing, you know, like Glenn Miller style, Frank Sinatra, Michael Bublé style of performance arrangements of your favorite Christmas carols. It's an all ages show as well, so it's not just for the adults. And then we've got Martin Rock as a guest guitarist. He's going to do a couple of rockabilly style numbers. Cool. And then, some great vocalists, such as myself. Pixie Bennett is one of them.
Pixie, I remember Pixie of Idols. Yeah.
Yeah, she's cool. Tracy Lee Oliver.
Okay.
She's also awesome. And then we've discovered a fine young talent at Wits. His name is Yamikani Mahakapiri. He's
well done on that, actually.
Yeah, no, well, I have to get it right by now. He's an amazing vocalist, a really great performer. So it's a nice show that we're putting together. It's got a nice storyline. There's even a young Santa in there.
Cool.
At the Lyric Theatre at Gold Reef City on the 30th of November. Go out. It's on CompuTicket if you want to get tickets. They range from 130 Rand upwards. That's the next big one that I'm really.
I'm actually
focusing on.
I'm getting Christmassy
at
the moment. I've had a thing that we've been doing called the Boney M Watch.
Okay.
Which is where we're getting people to, and I had my first one in the other day. The first time you hear Boney M in a shopping centre, then you know Christmas has arrived.
Yes.
And we've had our Boney M alert. So Christmas is on the way.
It's definitely on the way.
So feeling a Christmas vibe, getting into this. So I think a show like that.
Well, for me, it's very indulgent because when I was young, living in New York, I would get Christmas fever from July onwards. And it wasn't about the presents. It was about the whole, something about living there with the snow and the movies and the way they dress everything up. And it's all about family and
you're
the
just
warmth
talking
and
dirty to me now.
Yeah, and that just get me every year. I mean, if you ask my family, they would say, Martin Cito is a real Christmas head, you know? And I do drawings and stuff like crazy,
So this is not a stretch for you, this
is the thing. It's like this show, and, I used to, dream about singing like Dean Martin and Bing Crosby and all that as a kid. Those carols were just, those recordings were just ridiculous. Very nostalgic.
Dreaming of a white Christmas, these vibes.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what the show is doing.
I'm
It's
all
like
Christmased
nostalgic.
up now.
No, there
I'm
you
all
go.
Christmased up. Why do I have to wait like a month plus for this? I'm going down to that show. I'm going to go check that show.
Cool,
I
man.
need
Well,
to.
you must.
The one thing we haven't talked about, Absinthe.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about Absinthe, because I've seen you guys play. Absolutely amazing as that
Cool,
setup.
thank you. Well, it's another side project, but that's been going for about almost 10 years, about 9 years. Me and Paul Flynn from Sugar Drive.
Yeah.
We found out that we have mutual taste in music, and it's all basically the bands that have influenced our music, Joy Division, House of Love, the Pixies, the Verve.
So real music.
Coldplay. Yeah, real.
Nothing that sounds like a computer shutting down.
Yeah.
Proper music.
Yeah, proper music.
I'm
And
with
so we would also do acoustic treatments. So it'd be like harmonies a la Simon and Garfunkel style and the way we interpret it. And we seem to have developed our own kind of sound, So, he has his thing and I have my thing, and our voices really complement each other.
Yeah.
And our guitar playing also complements each other.
It's a fantastic show to watch.
Cool,
It really
thank you,
is.
yeah.
So if you want to catch Cito, you can catch him at the Christmas show. You can catch him with Il Cantante. You can catch him with Absinthe. You can catch him with Wonderboom. I'm sure sometimes people can catch you just playing by yourself.
By myself, I do that, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of places. So, and speaking of playing, Cito's going to play for us right now. What are you going to play for us today?
Well, seeing as though it's my debut interview at Rock FM, I thought I'd give you guys a Wonderboom number.
Fantastic.
I think people know Wonderboom more than anything else at the moment.
Take it away.
So here's Something Wrong. I find it hard just to say a word, but how can I speak when there's a lump in my throat? To try talk now must be absurd. Something when your heart is somewhere remote, far away is your mind. All you say is never mind. But I know my heart is somewhere left behind. There's something wrong, but you just don't say. There's something wrong, but you just don't say. I can tell by the way you look away. There's something wrong, but you just don't say. There's something wrong, but you just don't say. I can tell by the way you look away. Thought I could be the friend you need, but apparently the one who hurt you was me. I can't believe I let you let me. Please tell me now, why do you hate me? Far away is your mind, all you say is never mind. But I know my heart is somewhere left behind. Left behind. Left behind. Left behind. There's something around, but you just don't say. There's something wrong, but you just don't say. I can tell by the way you look away. There's something around, but you just don't say. There's something around, but you just don't say. I can tell by the way you look away. There's something around. Oh.
Something wrong. Nothing wrong. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you.
A croak in my throat.
Thank you, Cito, so much for waking up early, and I'm glad we didn't get you out of routine. It's
Cool.
it's important to me.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I don't sing this early, but I'm definitely up this early. And
For
it
someone
was
that
cool to be
doesn't
here.
sing that early, that was absolutely amazing. Thank you for coming through. You're welcome anytime,
Cool.
and we're going to catch you soon.
Thank you very much. Play our music, please.
We will indeed. Thank you so much for downloading the Rock FM Breakfast Show podcast. If you'd like to hear our other podcasts, head to Spreaker.com/The Mike Marina Show. Otherwise, listen to us 7 till 9 weekdays, 91.9 FM, Rock FM.